Hey guys, it's your host Adi and welcome to Comic Space. And as it looks like Kang have conquered his place as a big bad of the multiverse saga, and most of you probably know that already due to the Jonathan Majors legal trouble he have departed from the MCU, and that for sure has left a void in the multiverse saga. Anyhow, even if Jonathan Majors is not part of the MCU, Kang still is, and as it looks like he is still a quite integral part of the multiverse saga. As this news initially broke out, everybody thought Marvel Studios have no choice but to divert the story to a completely new villain. But as it looks like, after all said and done, Kang is still in the MCU and he is still quite an integral part of the multiverse saga. So, what is happening? And this is where today's update is coming from, and obviously it is coming from Daniel RPK, one of our most trusted industry insider and who we give a lot more reverence to in compared to other industry insider, and we cover him frequently on the channel and he have a quite impeccable track record as well. So as he went on to state that anyhow, Avengers Kang Dynasty has been renamed to Avengers 5. Kang still remains an integral part of the story and he will play some element in Avengers 5. So as it seems like Kang is going to be part of the Avengers 5, not sure about Secret Wars, but Avengers 5 before all this was called Avengers Kang Dynasty. That means the whole film was centric around one thing, and that was Kang the Conqueror. So he is still quite an integral part of the script, but as it seems like he is going to be part of the story initially, but slowly Marvel Studios is for sure is going to divert the story and build up the new big bad of the multiverse saga. And again, it makes a lot of sense Kang still been an integral part of the Avengers 5, because after all Marvel Studios have put about 3 years of time, investment and lots of build up towards their big bad, and that was Kang the Conqueror. So obviously they are just not gonna, with a snap of a finger, we are just gonna move on to an totally new villain, and Marvel Studios is just not going to mention about Kang the Conqueror, and they are not gonna act like it. All of the stuff that we have seen in Loki season 1 to Quantumania, so that just didn't happen. So obviously after putting all of this time, effort and setting this story and the villain of the multiverse saga, who Kang the Conqueror, they obviously have to do something with him. They obviously have to write him out of the story. So even before all of this, I didn't thought that Kang the Conqueror was going to be the main villain in Avengers Secret Wars. It was probably going to be someone else, but as they were setting up, and especially the post-credit scene that we saw at the end of the Quantumania, I was like, they are really going for Kang the Conqueror and he was going to be and play a major role in the saga. But obviously they have to write him out of the story somehow. They're obviously just not gonna let it go, all of the stuff that have happened, but they obviously have to recast it and have to set up a new villain in that film as well before we head into Secret Wars. And obviously Avengers 5 is not going to be called Avengers Kang Dynasty. And again, if this is how stuff is going to happen, so things are going to happen this way, so Marvel Studios is probably going to need a lot more time for that Avengers 5 to release. But however, if they're gonna go with a total recast option where they're just going to keep Kang as it is, the story of Avengers 5 as it is, and they're just going to continue on their path with just a recast. So I think in the last video we talked about how Marvel Studios is deciding their step to tell Michael Waldron to rewrite the script or to keep it as it is. So I think that is pretty much it. Either they're going to recast him, or anyhow Kang is going to be at some extent part of that story, and then slowly write him out and obviously set up with a new big bad of the multiverse saga in that same movie as well. So the whole thing regarding Avengers 5 is to set up Avengers Secret Wars. It is going to be a very small film in comparison to Secret Wars. What I mean by that, it is going to have a very specific Avengers part of it, and obviously it is primarily the setup of Avengers Secret Wars, and that is all about Avengers 5 is all going to be, not like Infinity War, because that was a full blown out in Avengers film, and Endgame, I think those two films as individual films were blown out Avengers film. But as it looks like, Avengers 5 is pretty much going to be the setup for the Avengers Secret Wars, where we are just gonna go total nuts with the multiverse saga. But again, obviously Marvel Studios have a backup plan. I think because obviously they weren't waiting for the verdict to come out and then they will go on to plan their next steps. I think they already had a plan what they were actually going to do. So I think they already had a plan if this thing have gotten either way regarding the writer guild of America strike, SAG-AFTRA strike and Jonathan Majors issue, and I think they already had a kind of planned out. However, if you go on Google and search for Avengers 5, it is still slated for May 1st, 2026. And after all of this, I don't think so. The film or Avengers Secret Wars or Avengers 5 is going to make out on their initially decided release date. So I am really expecting a delay here. And I think even the scheduling wise, we still have a quite few projects that should come out before we head into stuff like Dynasty. I'm sorry about that, Avengers 5, which that is what is called right now, and Secret Wars. Before we head into that stuff, we're still supposed to be getting a Young Avengers film, not a Disney Plus series, remember that, which is also going to be a full-blown out Avengers film. So I think before we head into stuff like Young Avengers, Avengers 5, Secret Wars, there's still a lot of setup need to do, and also a lot of work on the story wise and the character wise. But again, at the end of the day, the story and the whole multiverse saga is end up going to divert towards a totally new villain. And I think the multiverse saga already has been a quite roller coaster ride, and I think the ride is still going on for a while. We still have a quite to go through before we head into Secret Wars. We have a lot to see after and how the things are going to unravel itself. Well, that's it for this video guys, and I think I have talked too much on this topic. I thought this was going to be a quite short video than I expected it to be. Well, that's it for this video guys, but before you go, you can consider to grab the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel or DC update. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.